Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kibicho YouTube channel. It's another moment that I thought it important for me to come and share with you a few things, and more so this time when our brothers and sisters have just come from the grueling campaigns. And our discussion today is based on what we call letting it go. Letting it go basically is appreciating of the facts as they are on the ground. Some of us people right now as we speak, some people have spent a lot of money, some people have spent their fortunes, some people have spent their life savings, and they are wondering what to do next. But I want to remind our brothers and sisters that there is an adage that goes like this: you should never cry over spilled milk. Because even if you cry over spilled milk, you don't bring it back to the cup or to the kettle or to the bucket. So the best thing is to face things as they are. And I have come to share with you this information of letting go. Letting go basically means appreciate things the way they are. It has happened. If somebody has died, even if you spend 10 years mourning that particular individual, it does not matter how much you loved that particular person. It does not matter how much you treasured that particular person. The fact of the matter is the person is gone. So the best thing to do, and I've taught people on many occasions, it is to accept things as they are. We had some people who had been promised many votes by voters, but I'm telling you, I've even seen a young man from Nyandarua who has started cursing the voters because they never gave him the votes that he expected. Fine, when you enter into what we call a competition, there are always two options. Option number one is either you win or you lose. So in the event that you have lost, you do not go insulting the very people, because you knew for sure when you plunged yourself into that particular activity, there are only two possible outcomes. One, the first possible outcome was either winning or losing. Now, some of us people or some individuals who have now been defeated or who have lost may become eternally affected by the outcomes. But I'm here to let you know, let it go. If you have been in a relationship that is not working, let it go. And I will advise you as a consultant on many fronts that the moment you let it go, your life takes another different outlook altogether, and you start what we call the healing process. If the relationship has gone so, accept it has gone so. If you have failed as a candidate in the just concluded general elections, accept it so. Because the moment you refuse to accept that, you are not going to create your own general election where you win and you feel happy about it. Because even if you did, that particular outcome is not recognized by the bodies that be. So the best thing is to let go. So even if, for instance, right now, we know majority of Kenyans are really frustrated because of the outcomes of the elections. There are those people who wanted their candidates to win. They have not won. That's a fact. The declaration has been done by the IEBC. That's a fact. So even if you spend the whole day right now thinking about that particular event that has passed, you can't change the status. So I would even advise my brothers and sisters, especially those who have been beaten badly, where there's what we call a glaring gap of votes. It's not prudent for you now to go to the courts to the corridors of justice, because by the end of the day, you continually spend a lot of money, one, by hiring people, two, by spending your time there. So the best thing is to let go. And I've been telling people that one of the greatest things to do in life is to let go. Whether a relationship, whether a lost general election, whether death of an individual, we need to appreciate that it's time for moving on. So I'm going to give you about 8 things that you need to do to be able to move on. Now, number one, recognize when it's about time to leave or to move on. So especially those now, we have already been told who are the governors, who are the senators, who are the women rep, who are the MCAs, who are the MPs. And that has been made as a declaration by the body that has been constitutionally mandated to do that. So the best thing to do is to move on now. Start asking yourself, from here, what do I do? I'm so happy to have seen some gentlemen and ladies who have considered to defeat, and that is how it should be. Now start thinking about your life, because what has passed has passed. You can't change what has already passed. So the best thing is to move on. So recognize when it is time to move on. And the second thing that you must always remember, give time. If you want to heal in life, give time. If you give time, that one will be able to solve you from this menace of frustrations and depression. The other thing that you must do, create a positive mantra to counter the painful thoughts. Now, look at what you have done. For you to be maybe 30 years to be 40 years, what are some of the greatest achievements that you have done? What made you to achieve? And what are some of the other things that you failed in achieving, but you still moved on? So you don't have to stay completely fixed in a given position. You must continually ask yourself, what is it that in the past I have been able to do that propelled me to be the level I am at? So you don't have to blame yourself 100%. So recognize, give yourself a positive mantra. I'm the same individual who succeeded a few years ago, and I'm still the same individual who will be able to overcome. As a matter of fact, when this man called Everest, the one who gave this car called Ford Everest that name, he tried to climb Mount Everest more than 15 times. But one thing that kept him going was the fact that the mountain had already reached its pinnacle. It couldn't grow any longer. And he kept on reminding the mountain, I thank God, you mountain, that today you have made me, it has been totally impossible for me to climb you. But I know in the fullness of time, I'll climb you, because for you, you have reached your ultimate pinnacle. But for me, I'm still growing in terms of strength, in terms of energy. And finally, he did it. He conquered it. And that's why he came up with a car which is called Ford Everest. So it's good to come up with a mantra that will keep you rejuvenated, invigorated, that keeps you going. The other thing, create physical distance. If you realize that, for instance, when I got defeated in Nyeri Town constituency, I shifted from Nyeri and I moved to Nairobi. And that movement gave me what we call the healing process. To give me what we call the therapeutic situation and environment that I so much needed. So the other thing that you need to do is do your own work. So the fact that you have reached the dead end of the road does not mean that that is the end of the road for every endeavor that you attempt to do. So do your work, do whatever you know best, because general elections just come and go, but your life has a longer period. So you need to go for the long haul. So just do your own work. Then practice mindfulness. Remember, you are not the first one. You are not the first casualty. Others have been casualties, but they have made it in the past. And I would urge all of you listening to me and watching me on my YouTube channel, go and study the story of Abraham Lincoln. How Abraham Lincoln suffered, and how many times he made attempts to finally become the president of the United States of America. The other thing is that be gentle with yourself. Don't just, you were not the one who determined your destination. We had other individuals who had plans, who also needed to excel, but they didn't. So if it was all about you, then you could have become the winner immediately. So the best thing to do is that be gentle to yourself and continue moving on and let it go. Then allow your negative emotions to flow. Yes, you have been defeated, things have gone haywire, but that's not the end of the Lord. So don't keep on saying they gave me 50,000 votes, whereas my candidate got 100. That was it. It was destined to be so. So don't you worry. Don't keep on whipping yourself. And finally, engage in self-care. Take care of yourself, for there is no other person who will come and take care of you. And those few remarks, may God bless you. Let's go on. Let's keep moving. The journey is not yet over until we go down 6 feet under. May God bless you. Always a pleasure talking to you.